Hello, Randy here with the Valentine Goose channel, also known as Star Thinker. I thought I'd just put out a quick video and ramble on a little bit. Just trying out a few things. My grandson, I uh, I let him use my computer. This computer was only supposed to be for video and editing videos. It's set up for videos. It's got the special everything on it, and just for videos. And so when I couldn't go downstairs, because this is a lower level and the bathroom's on the second level, and I couldn't climb stairs for the longest time. And he wanted to play Fortnite on this, and so I come down here tonight, which is my first time being in the studio, and he's installed drivers and videos, and there's several games, and there's at least nine. I'm looking up here, there's nine like different programs he's installed and some kind of aim bot. Yes, if you find him online, he's using something called an aim bot. Um, but he's also, I don't know. And then I couldn't get my camera to focus, and it still doesn't look right. It's still in the lighting. Man, he moved all the lights around. He moved all the microphones around. So I just like grabbed a headset tonight. Um, it's just a mess back here. But I guess I said he could use it. I just didn't realize to what extent he would use it. And then he started using, because he uploads videos to YouTube, and he's using my one of my accounts to do that with. He's got his own channel, but it's under my account, so we can keep an eye on him. Um, and because of that, he's linked a whole bunch of stuff to YouTube, not realizes it's linking to my Google account. I'm getting spam like crazy. Not only spam, but like I just can't even describe it. But yeah, so first night back in the studio, and uh, I will say COVID kicked my ass in several different ways. um, I was in and out of the ER. I had high fevers. I could not breathe, could not breathe, and that was the worst part of it. And because I'm in a cast, like just even if I didn't have COVID, it's an effort to like do something simple, like go to the bathroom. Um, when you have COVID and can't breathe, that bit of effort becomes 1,000 times worse. And I'd end up at the bathroom hyperventilating, passing out. I'd have to wait, before I could get off my. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but I'd have to wait till I could get off my little cart thingy because I'm on a knee scooter. I tried crutches. I just couldn't do crutches. So I'm on a knee scooter, and and the last the last little bit I got is this runny nose, and I don't know if this is still part of COVID, but I've never had a runny nose like this before, and because I've never had a runny nose like this before, I'm just assuming it's COVID. It's the craziest runny nose I've ever had. I can't even describe. I can't even describe it. It's not. It's like nothing I've ever had before, and uh, and there's blood in it. So I think I have a really badly deviated septum, and I'm pretty sure they during the surgery they put a tube up your nose and it goes down your throat, and I think it's just still a hangover from that. Um, but yeah, it's just crazy. Uh, Anything else health-wise? My foot, because of COVID, they would not go through my treatments until I was 10 days quarantined. So like all my treatments are pushed back at least 2 weeks. And so like I was planning on going back to work on the 28th, but it's going to be at least maybe till the end of March even, um, because the doctor won't sign a release until I'm completely out of the cast and walking at 60% or something like that. So yeah, out of the frying pan into the fire. Uh, I just saw a shadow person walk by again. Yeah, these shadow people. Um, what else? My hair is growing back very slowly, but my beard came in very quickly. I had shaved my entire head at the same time. And as you can see, this is still just a little bit of fuzz, but my beard is like it's almost fully grown in. Uh, so I guess my chin is faster than my head is.
That's because Randy's awesome.
Um, yeah, tonight, I mean, I've been trying to climb stairs because my cats, I have people taking care of the cats, but they just don't know the nuances. Phoebe's dish always has to be here, and Michael's dish always has to be here. And I come down here, and there's just like they're just opening the cans and putting them on the floor. So there's cans of cat food all over, all over my little apartment here. Um, so it's been a trip. It's been a real trip. And then I have been getting some advice about CPAPs, and for those of you who have have sent me messages about the CPAPs, I really appreciate it, and I'm looking into things. But the biggest problem is there's like a national shortage of the machines. Um, the local suppliers here that normally supply for the hospital just don't have them, and they're hoping to get them in by the end of February. And that's like, I'm very laid back about things like that. I'll cross that bridge when I get there. And then when I do, I'll freak out. So, but like, I know I can't do anything about it until they come in. So why worry until they come in? Um, yeah, a friend of mine going through college, finding some challenges there. It's um, it's funny to think about going to college at this age, but she's working on her master's and stuff, but the things she's got to go through. And I see another can. I can't. My grandson apparently has been putting cans on the cat tree, and I just noticed that there's cans on the cat tree. Okay. I keep telling them Phoebe's bowl goes here, Michael's bowl goes here. Um, anything else? Anyway, that's my health status. Um, I promised myself I would spend this time home working on the Fall of Crescent, and I've done a nice outline. I finally got the hook. Uh, I've finally got a few things. I'm taking my trip in July or August, and it'll be a full week because I have to travel to very certain spots to get boots on the ground information to put in the book. Oh, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be different than the first one, but it's still gonna be codes and precisely. You'll know precisely where it is. Um, but it's a different kind of book. I always wanted to write a book that was like different. And one of the books I kind of base this on is called House of Leaves. And if you've never, it's a book you can't really describe because you got to get it and look at it to know what I'm talking about. Um, but it's three stories taking place at one time. So there's one font and one story at the top of the page, and one font and another story in the middle of the page, and one font and one story at the bottom of the page. So like you can read the top of the page and go through and read that story and then read the middle, or you can read each page as it goes, but they don't match up because they're different stories. But not only that, but there's pages where the text spirals in, and there's pages where there's one word on the page. There's pages where there's blank pages, and then there's pages. It's a book you have to see to understand. And the story, the tri stories are about this guy who figures out that the inside of his house is bigger than the outside of his house. And he's like a famous musician or something, so he's got a lot of money, and he hires people. He hires people to laser measure everything to figure out, where this extra couple inches is coming from, and they can't figure it out. And then they find this secret passage and stuff. And and then the other book and the other part, one of the other stories is a guy researching this story. And then down the other story is just like all these notes and footnotes from someone who'd researched it in the past, and they're just kind of clumped in there. It's really different. And I just, when I read that book, I was just like, oh, wow. um, I didn't agree with the story, and I also, well, I didn't not. I mean, it's a good story and everything, but there was some math issues, and that doesn't make sense unless you read it. But I actually did the math that they did in the book, and the book was wrong. um, I don't know who did their math checking, but yeah, it doesn't pan out. But it's a good story otherwise, and it's really creepy, and it's something I have recurring dreams about before I even read that story. So there must be something very primal about the story. Um, but I always wanted to write something different like that. I come up with a nice way of doing that, which includes certain codes in the story. So it's really cool. I think it's going to be really great. Too bad it's going to be way out there. It's probably going to be a year or so before I finish it.
Maybe Randy could have tied that into his movie if he had a single creative bone in his hack body.
Plus, I got to plant the token. Um, I'll probably visit the token a year later, see if it's still there, disturbed or anything. Um, and I've been reading. Well, I've been on like geocache forums, and there's some tricky things. Geocaching has gotten very tricky, and I might utilize some of the tricks in the geocache forums to hide the token. I mean, there's a lot of devices and camouflage stuff that's camouflaged in a way you would never think of. And um, I was reading through that. In fact, I ordered some stuff on Amazon just this weekend. I'm like, I'm going to see what some of these things actually look like in real life. Um, so I'm working on it. That's going forward, but the actual writing of the book is the hardest part. And every time I sit down to do it, I mean, with COVID, I couldn't even type. I couldn't even watch videos. I literally lay on the couch for 24 hours a day, just trying to breathe. And so I wasn't even trying to write or do anything like that. Um, but when I did start to feel better, I played around with Naomi's. I always say Naomi, but it's Naimo spec in that treasure hunt. And I had some ideas, but my brain was foggy too. It's like, when you have a high fever, you're just kind of in a dreamland. And I I'd be working on it. And next thing I know, I'm like having this wild fever dream about something. So it was, so I might go back to that, but I had some ideas on that. What better way to solve a mystery than to have a study of it when you have a high fever? Come back to it when you're lucid. Um, but yeah, so that's health. That's the status of the Beacon Star, the fall of Crescent. There's been a little uptick in in book sales. I'm not sure what that's about. Usually when that happens, there's a mention somewhere that I don't know about. So that's cool. I did do the shirt. Uh, I was just playing one night, and I think I was still in my fever. But one night I was playing with Zazzle, and I was just uploading pictures of Zazzle and putting it on different products, and I ended up ordering one, and it actually came out pretty nice. And I'm going to do some for Follow Crescent. I'm going to do some other ones, kind of expand it because you can do a whole store on Zazzle. So I'm going to do some merch. Not that I'm promoting anything. I know people are like, "Oh, you're suddenly promoting." I'm like, "Not really. I'm just doing some merch." Um, some other things that I've always wanted to have, shirts that I always thought, well, how come no one ever made a shirt that said this? And so I might do something like that. So it's interesting. And of course, don't forget, we still haven't come up with a channel but my daughter and I are still doing the real estate videos. Um, I think they're fun. I do. I have fun doing them. I don't know if anyone else is doing them like that. And of course, it's my daughter and I. And one of the caveats is that we drink a little bit before we start. She drinks wine usually, and I drink rum. And we talk about people's houses and rate them and you know criticize their lifestyle. So anyway, that's fun. And then anything else? Forrest Fenn related? Well, I still believe in the GPS solve. Um, when I did it and I made my adjustment and it fell right in those two creeks, I was like, this still works. How come no one believes me that it still works? And I guess because I've never showed anybody how it still works. So I'm gonna have to sit down, do a video, and get the whiteboard out and all that good stuff. Um, yeah, I'm looking for the cats. They haven't pounced on me this whole video. Anything else? Sorry about this. Um, oh, my nose is just raw from doing that. Um, nope, can't think of anything else. So yeah, that was my health update, Beacon Star update, GPS update. I have been playing with Xavier Marks, Naimo Spec. Um, but again, it's kind of like in a fever dream. And I know I missed stuff. There's been some clues released and stuff that I've completely missed. And I'm part of a group, but um, I haven't been lucid enough to take part in any of the Zooms and stuff. And I think I even stopped getting invites for them. Oh, I hate this. And it's bloody too. I mean, ugh. Um, but yeah, I'm just sitting here. This is like coming down here is weird because it's been weeks and the cats miss me and there's just a mess down here. I might try to sleep on my bed tonight. I sleep on the floor and people think I'm very unusual that way. Um, but I don't know, I just when I sleep on the floor, my bones realign themselves and stuff and I feel good in the morning. When I sleep on a bed, I wake up feeling like blah. I don't know. I can't explain it, but I sleep on the floor. Um, and I had to make my daughter because she's got hardwood floors upstairs, and so I've been sleeping on the couch, and I got in so much pain sleeping on that couch. It's just so cushy and soft, like you can't lay straight, you know. So I talked her into rolling out the carpet because she rolled up the carpet when I went up there for some reason, and so we unrolled the carpet again, and I was able to sleep on the floor, and I was just like, I slept for 9 hours one night, and that was the most I've slept probably in 6 months. And that was in the heat of COVID, and I had fever dreams, and um, normally I sleep in 2 hour intervals, and and we're hoping the CPAP will fix that, but yeah, there's just a lot going on with that. Um, anyway, God, he took the microphone apart. What was this boy doing in my station? Um, oh look, there's Naomi Specht and then the map from the Whistle Pig. Uh, they're both out there. Uh, anything else? Nope. All right. Well, I guess I'll see you guys later. Again, just a health update. I'm hitting my 20-minute mark, and I always promise myself I'll never go over 20 minutes, but sometimes I do. Um, I guess I'll see you all later. Rest assured, I'm feeling better. The only lingering thing I got is a stupid nose. But I'm breathing. I blew up balloons yesterday. Try that with COVID. If you blew up balloons with COVID and then you popped them in a crowded theater. Just get vaccinated, people. Anyway, I'll talk to you later and take care, everybody.
By Randy's logic, any public setting where there are beautiful women and you're not allowed to grope them is a place of great sexual repression.